Hello YouTube and welcome to a new toy review. This time let's take a look at the Generation 1 Saber figure. Now this figure has just come out as masterpiece and I think that one looks amazing. So I figured let's take a look of the original one because it's kind of a rare transformer and certainly sort of a holy grail for a transformer collector to have. Now Saber is the main protagonist or the big leader in the Transformers Victory cartoon, which aired in Japan in 1989. It's kind of a cool cartoon. I have to admit I haven't watched all the episodes yet, but I've seen a few and I sort of like it. The animation looks great.
Transform!
Just look at these action scenes. We were very rarely treated to such fast-paced action in the original G1 cartoon.
最後の勝利、レストロンには渡さん。ほざけ！
The characters are interesting and I really like the Brainmaster gimmick that they have going on, and it's fun to watch, so I will definitely watch all the episodes. Most of the main Autobots in this cartoon are Brainmasters, and I've done reviews about Brainmaster figures already, namely Flame, but I have these two along with Saber, so I just wanted to show them together, how they look really cool. So as I mentioned, in the original cartoon these guys are Brainmasters, and that basically means that they have the gimmick of having a little robot inside their chest and having that robot being able to form the face of the bigger one as you close the door and kind of transform them like this. In the case of Saber, this is his little robot, which is called the Brain of Courage, and he looks basically just the same as all the other Brainmasters in this line, with the difference of him not having any sticker details on him, which is sort of a bummer, because really if the smaller figures can have the sticker detailing, I don't really see why the bigger one doesn't, but unfortunately he doesn't have any stickers. Articulation is also the same as all the other little Brainmaster figures. The arms could turn all the way if not for the backpack, and the legs can go in a sitting position, and that's basically it. As you put the little Brainmaster in the chest of the robot and close the lid, the face will slide up, and I think that is a really cool feature that I really like in these figures. Unfortunately, this also means that if you lose the little robot, you will be left with a big robot without a face. So you kind of have to be careful. Now let's get back to Saber himself. This is his robot mode, and in this mode he can kind of turn his arms all the way around, even though his little wings are a little bit in the way. He has nicely ratcheted joints in the arm, He can bend his legs at the hips and at the knees about this much. He can sort of bend it backwards too, but that's really all the articulation you're getting with. As you can see, he's a unileg figure. He can't split his legs, and posability is sort of limited, as you might expect with a Generation 1 figure. To transform him, you have to close his little fists and then close down the arms like that. I like to remove the Brainmaster figure because I like to put him in the cockpit of the plane that he's transforming into. Now you have to be careful with this. You always have to remember pressing this little yellow button, because that's the button that will let the legs collapse like this. If you don't do it, you can end up breaking your figure. Now that's all you can do with him really in this mode, so you will need another part, which is the nose cone. I like to store the nose cone here on the back of the big robot, just to make sure not to lose it. So this is the nose cone that comes with it. You can see it has a landing gear in there, and all you have to do is just slide it on top and you have your jet mode. Of course, the cockpit can be opened and your little brain of courage can sit in there, just like that. The plane mode, I think, looks quite cool. I really like the design, like the chrome bits at the tails, and I think this is a decent jet mode to have. My only problem is that the stickers were applied a little bit wrong on my figure. I could order repro label stickers, but they are really expensive, so I'm thinking about just trying to recreate these stickers, because they are not that difficult really. It's just some white with some blue and that's it. Now of course he can roll quite well when the landing gear is out. You have little wheels right here and you have a wheel on the landing gear. Now of course he can also combine with this bigger body to form the big Star Saber figure, which, as you might have guessed, goes quite similarly as when combining Power Master Optimus Prime into the bigger Power Master Optimus Prime. It really is the same method. First you have to remove the nose cone, and you can press these yellow parts right here, and that will release these little bits, so you can remove the nose cone more easily. You basically have to transform him back to robot, almost. And you close the legs like this. Now all you have to do is take this body and just slide it into the bigger one. I like to press the white button on the back. That button is for releasing the middle figure, but I like to press it when I put it in, just to be sure not to break anything. So now you have Saber in his bigger armored mode, and all you need to do now is just take the helmet and put it over his head, and now you're done.
Transform!
It's really similar to what you do with Power Master Optimus Prime, when you just take the cab section and slide it in, but in this case you also have to put on the head separately. Now you can see them together here, Jinrai or Power Master Optimus Prime with Saber. Saber is a little bit bigger and taller, also has a little bit better articulation in the terms of having an elbow articulation, even if the elbow movement is also sort of limited, but definitely better than the arms of Jinrai, which are a little bit too short. When not in their armored bodies, Jinrai and Saber are almost the same height. They both have the same kind of build. Articulation is limited with both figures, with Saber having a little bit better articulation with the arms, whereas Jinrai can also only move his elbows really, and no arm articulation there. As with most Japanese exclusive cartoons, there's also another similarity that they both have little partners here. In the case of Jinrai, it's his Power Master, and in the case of Saber, it's his Brain Master. I think it's an interesting fact that both these Japanese exclusive cartoons, the Transformers Master Force and Transformers Victory, have his smaller robots inside the bigger robot, and also same with the Headmasters really, where you have the Headmasters making up the head of the bigger robot, the Brain Masters making up the face, and the Power Masters making up the engine for their bigger counterparts. I think it's interesting, however, in the case of Headmasters and also Power Masters, these little robots were basically the main characters. The Headmasters had several episodes about how the little robots were trained to become Headmasters and what a big honor that was. In case of the Power Masters, they were really humans who acted as power engines for their Transtector bodies, and they were wearing these futuristic robotic looking suits. Whereas with Victory, I haven't seen all the episodes yet, but basically none of the episodes revolve around the small robots, so they are just some accessories joining in the transformation sequences, and they are never heard of after the transformation sequences are over. So in none of the episodes you see them out of their robotic bodies. They are always, I suppose, inside, and you can only see them really when the transformation animation is going on. So I think that's sort of weird. I would have really liked to know more about these little guys. So articulation in big robot mode, the arms can rotate all the way around and have a nice tight ratchety joint there. You have elbow articulation, which moves this much. You can rotate the hands, and unfortunately no head articulation, mainly because of the gimmicks of the Brainmaster and the helmet part. You have no knee articulation either, however you can move the legs out just like this and back, and that is basically it. Accessory wise, he comes with a gun that unfortunately I don't have, and he also comes with a sword. His name isn't Saber for nothing, but unfortunately I don't have the sword either. However, I made myself a replacement sword. It's not that difficult really. The sword is stored here in this shoulder part, and you can remove it by putting in the nose cone and just pulling it out. Now I made my sword out of wood and painted it gold. I think the original one is chromed or painted silver, I'm not sure, and it's probably made out of plastic, but it can be also made out of metal. I'm really not sure, because I never had it and I probably never will, because it's either really hard to get or really expensive to buy. But I think this wooden sword doesn't look bad at all, so I'm quite happy with that and with the way it turned out. On the bottom part of this nose cone you see this little yellow peg that is for your figure to hold his sword. And he holds it quite well. I think it doesn't look bad really. I really like his little sword right there. I like to store this nose cone here on the back. I'm not sure if this is a official way to store it, but there's a peg hole which is just the right size, so you can easily peg it in there and it will stay securely on the back. One interesting little tidbit that I have is that the name of the previous owner is actually written on the back of my robot. Now I bought this one on eBay, and with basic hiraganas, if you can read Japanese, you can see that it's Yasuhiro. So the previous owner for this robot was called Yasuhiro. So Yasuhiro-kun, if you're watching my review, I want you to know that your precious memory from childhood is in safe hands. I will take good care of your Saber figure. Of course, he can also transform in his big robot form too. And for that, you need to close his arms like that. Remove the middle robot, and you have to press the little white button on the back to get it released. And the legs are quite tight on mine, so I'm always kind of worried when I have to use a little bit of force to have them bent like this. but you have to get the legs attached to the arm. Like that. Also on the other side. So after you're done with the arms and legs, you can turn the feet around to reveal the little wheels that he has. And now on the back you have to arrange the helmet like this, and these antennae, they have to face forward. Now you may have noticed you have this gun thingy here, and the other one is unfortunately broken on mine. You also have sort of a landing gear right here in the shoulders, so you can put him down like this and he can roll. Not too well, but he can. Now all you have to do is open up the wings and you're almost done. Now take the middle robot and basically turn him back into plane mode. Leave the fins folded like that and fold the other wings a little bit out. Put on the nose cone, and now you can attach the little plane like this, and there you have it, Star Saber in his combined vehicle mode. So much like Jinrai, you can also combine the vehicle modes into a big plane, whereas Jinrai, of course, or Power Master Prime, of course, combines into a truck with a trailer. This mode is much bigger than the truck, and I think it looks quite impressive. Another similarity between the two Autobot leaders, much like as Jinrai can combine with God Bomber to form God Jinrai, also Star Saber can combine with another robot called Victory Leo to form Victory Saber. Unfortunately, I don't have God Bomber and I don't have Victory Leo to show you the combinations, but I have some pictures of the combined mode and I think it looks very awesome. This is sort of a thing in these kind of Japanese cartoons for boys. It's called a mid-season upgrade, because usually in around the mid-season the main protagonist gets a power upgrade, which is usually the way that he can combine with something to form a bigger something, and that is basically what's happening with Jinrai transforming into God Jinrai and Star Saber transforming into Victory Saber. But since this figure was only released in Japan, you can kind of expect to having to pay a lot of money for it. These figures go for quite a high price on the secondary markets, and also are a bit difficult to find on eBay, the way I experienced it. I think if you really want to get one for a decent price, a good option would be the Japanese auction center. I bought this one there. Well, I bought one on eBay and I bought one on the Japanese auction center, and I combined the two to have it in a way that you see right here, because one was missing the little Braymaster and also the nose cone. So now I have it here, and in retrospective, yeah, I would recommend you to rather try the Japanese auction center, because then maybe you will get it for a better price than on eBay. Well, thank you for watching my review. I really hope you liked it, and if you did, stay tuned for more. Take care and goodbye now.